the dude is going to pull away if he hasn't had sex with her in a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And a woman may actually think something's wrong if they ain't even had sex with each other in a certain amount of time. You know, in this world, women got to ask a dude, "Have you been with a man before? Are you gay, or are you sleep with all these different women?" Because everybody's promiscuous and all this other stuff. So if a man and a woman would just started dating, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would say after 3 months of talking, right? And they're kind of like going out or whatever. If neither person tried each other, both of them will be thinking something's wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we have Mr. Let Go. And also, this is the It's Giving podcast. The host, I'm trying to see if we can find the host's name here. And the host's name, who's a woman, is Sarah Fantinot? My name's not easy to pronounce either, so let's keep listening.
The man would be like, "Man, so is she into me or is she just using me? Like, we ain't did nothing." And she gonna be like, "Is this gay? Or like he ain't trying nothing." Because that's just the culture we're in, right? So what all of this can be looked at as is the need to be accepted. A man needs to get that to feel like she likes him. And
That's
a
wild.
woman needs to be able to give that to him to make sure she understands that she's going to stick around because of that clock that goes off in a normal dude's head.
Yeah.
So both of them really want to have sex with each other, not just because of sex, because they want to feel accepted and not used or
it's far
felt like you're not the one.
It feels like it's obligatory.
Yes.
Like people feel obligated
on both sides.
Well, I didn't know it was for the men. I feel like for men, I feel like it's more just conquer. They want to conquer. But for women, I was having this conversation not too long ago, and she was talking about how, we're listening to this book, and in the book it was saying like, well, it doesn't even matter. We're listening to this book and it brought us into a very deep conversation about things. And then we started talking about how sometimes she feels guilty for not having sex with a man that she's dating. And by dating, that doesn't mean you're in a relationship. It means you're getting to know this man. And I was like, I don't understand that. Like, where does the guilt come in? Like what, so we're having like the deepest, a beautiful conversation about like, well, do you want, like, did you actually desire to give this man your body? And she was like, well, no, it's that he did a couple dates. Like, I feel like he deserves it. And that to me is the mindset inside of 2024 that is mind blowing to me, where people feel like, oh, because you took me on a couple dates, now I owe you my body. I can't.
And the guy feels the same way. The obligation to himself.
Yeah, because he's a man.
To himself, like to his ego.
Yeah.
Right. So the man feels obligated to sleep with this woman at a certain amount of time because his ego is going to start telling him like, bro,
she don't want me.
She don't want me. She don't want you. Any woman that ain't doing this and that matter, she don't want you. You know how dudes being, with little sunglasses on. Oh yeah, if a chick ain't did this, she don't want you, bro. Type. So altogether, men feel obligated and women feel obligated for different reasons. But there is somewhat of an obligatory aspect to people sleeping with each other, and I think it's crazy.
All right, so I'm gonna jump in here. I understand exactly what they're talking about, and you probably have experienced this. And so, to simplify all this, is what's happened now in the dating market is the economy has changed. The economy has changed. In the past, you would not feel embarrassed as a woman or ashamed or feel bad or guilty. That's the word she used. My bad. It was guilty. You would not feel guilty as a chick in the past for making a man wait as long as you seem fit, or if you go even further back, for making a man wait until marriage. But the economy has switched. We've had the sexual revolution happen, and you have women who want to be able to embrace their sexuality and men who are going to exercise that. and they don't want to be judged for it, especially the women. They've changed things. Even if you don't meet the requirements for them to invest in you for a long-term relationship, you have short-term mating strategies and you have long-term mating strategies. Women exercise those two different ones today, all the time. They're given the free will to choose, and birth control allows them to do it without the risk of impregnancy. Even though a woman can say, you know what? I see what's happening around me in this new sexual economy. And most chicks, and this is true, 3-4 dates, they're letting you clap those cheeks. If you know, you know. If you've been there, you've been there. They're letting you hit, and it's not hard. It's not hard. And that's the precedent that's being set out here. That's the standard that's been set out here. Go try and tell these chicks to wait. Tell me, come back and let me know what they say to you. If you tell them, hey, stop, go tell them that, and come back. Let me know what modern women say to you when you tell them that. But when a chick says, you know what, I don't want to practice in this economy, well, you're going to face men who are going to look at you and say, well, what makes you different? And you might say, well, that's just not the way I live my life. I've never lived my life that way. They might need to see it to believe it and be like, okay, cool. Wow, I've tried every trick on you, game, whatever, and you still haven't cracked. It looks like you are a healthy person. It exists. They might believe you. More often than not, the truth is, here's what really happens. A woman who was letting dudes smash on the third or fourth date feels guilty. Why? Because she's thinking of all the guys she didn't make wait, except for you. That's what's happening in most cases. And that's not me saying she should allow those men to hit early. I don't think that's going to help you. I don't think racking up bodies is going to help you if your goal is a healthy relationship that leads to marriage. But that guilt wouldn't have been there if you'd have kept yourself as close to a virgin as possible. This is just an honest conversation. So does that mean, Chisho, we should only look for virgins? It's not what I'm talking about. You guys aren't going to find a bunch of virgins there waiting for you. There's some dudes thinking there's a place where virgins hide and wait. It's not what this is about. I'm saying there wouldn't be guilt there if your standards have always been that. You're guilty because you're thinking of Pookie, who you just let hit 6 months ago, because he was back in town and you missed him and you weren't talking to anybody at the time. But the good guy who you feel that connection with, the good guy who wants to invest with you long term, the good guy, you're making him wait for it. And you're like, oh man, it's a cold world. I was watching another video actually. This man approached her and asked her a question. It's like a, pretty vulgar question. He asked her, what position during sex has you go crazy? And he walks up to a woman and just asks her that. Here, let me play the video to you.
What position your man put you in that make you say, oh, I can't take it no more, I'm about to nut? What position is that?
The position to succeed in life. Hey, that's what it is. The position to succeed in life. When that put you in that position, it's up.
I'm talking about the bedroom, though.
I don't know about the bedroom.
You don't know about that?
So just the fact, like, you got to think about this. There was a time when this would have been extremely disrespectful to ask modern women. Now it's a trend. Now you see that, you're like, oh, he's a content creator. This is the current dating economy. This is current society. Now, she did the best that she could. I believe she did pretty good, deflecting and giving a classy answer. But chances are, in most cases, the women turn around, grab the camera, and tell you the exact position that makes them go wild. Women have really set the standard here when it comes to what men expect. Feminism has liberated a lot of these chicks to be able to exercise their sexual freedom, and that has resulted in the place we're in today when it comes to a lot of these topics. I thought that was a quick, interesting point. Of course, guys, I'm curious to know what you think. Leave your comments down below. That does it for today's show. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.